everyone! My name is Selva Suciawati.
And my name is Kinanti Petronella Gebisurlia. Good morning, what's your full name?
Good morning, my full name is Selva Suciawati, but most people just call me Selva because it feels more natural and it's what I've used since I was younger. Either one is fine for me.
Can I see your identification, please?
Of course, here it is. I prepared it so you can check it easily.
Thank you. Let's talk about emotions. How do you usually deal with stress?
When I'm stressed, I usually try to step back first and give myself a moment to breathe. If I push myself too hard while I'm overwhelmed, I tend to make a mistake or feel even more anxious. So, I often take a short walk or sit somewhere quiet for a few minutes just to calm my thoughts. Sometimes I listen to music because it helps me shift my mood, especially when everything feels too heavy and when my stress is really intense. I try to journal to talk to someone I trust. That simple habit of pausing and giving myself a break has helped me a lot in dealing with stress in a healthier way.
Do you think you're good in managing your own emotion?
I think I'm getting better, but I won't say I'm perfect at it. There are moments when I manage my emotion really well and stay calm, even during difficult situations. But there are also times when I react a bit too quickly or let things affect me more they should. I'm learning to be more aware of my emotional triggers and to take a moment before responding. So overall, I said I'm very good, but still improving. It's definitely a lifelong process.
Whom do you usually talk to when you feel strong emotion like angry, sad, or excited?
I usually talk to close friend or family member. Those people understand me, know how I express myself, so it feels safe to open up to them. When I'm confused, upset, and or even very excited, talking things out with the right person help me put things into perspective. Sometimes just hearing someone else's voice or listening to their advice bring me comfort, and even when they don't have the answer, the fake that really willing to listen already makes a big difference.
What do you do to stay emotionally healthy?
To stay emotionally healthy, I try to keep a balance in my daily life. I make sure get enough rest and avoid overworking myself. I try to do small things that make me happy, like watching show I enjoy or spending time with people who give me positive energy. I also try to stay aware of my limits. When I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, I step back and take a break before things get worse. I've also learned to reduce negative habits like scrolling too much on social media and comparing myself to others. Those small habits keep me grounded and help me stay emotionally stable. One event that really sucked my emotional state happened about a year ago. It wasn't something dramatic like a big fight or a serious incident. Instead, it was something that affected me emotionally on a deeper level because it involved someone I care about a lot, one of my closest friends. At the time, everything seemed normal. We talk almost every day, we joke around, and nothing seemed unusual from the outside. But the one day, they suddenly opened up to me about a really difficult personal situation they had been dealing with for months. It called for It caught me completely off guard because I had absolutely no idea what they were going through. They were struggling emotionally, but they hid it so well that didn't notice anything. I didn't notice anything. Hearing everything at once, it honestly hit me really hard. I felt shocked, sad, and confused. There was also this feeling of guilt because I kept wondering how I didn't notice any signs earlier, especially since we were so close. That moment made me realize how much people can hide behind a smile. Someone can look perfectly fine, but internally they may be fighting something heavy. It made me rethink the way I see people around me, including the people closest to me. Emotionally, it affected me more than I expected. I spent a few days feeling mentally drained. My mind kept replying the conversation, thinking about what I could done differently or how I could have supported them sooner. It wasn't easy to digest everything at once. To care to take care of myself emotionally, I decided to slow down. I took a short break from social media because constantly seeing things online made my mind even more overwhelmed. I also talked to another trust friends about what I was feeling. Not to share my friend's perfect story, but to express my own emotional confusion. Just saying my feelings, just saying my feelings out loud helped me process everything more clearly. I started journaling too. Writing things down helped me understand that it wasn't my fault for not noticing. People hide things when they are not ready to talk, and that's normal. I also made sure to spend time doing small, grounding activities like listening to calming music or going for a walk in the evening. Those simple things help me get back into a more stable emotional state. From that experience, I learned that everyone is fighting their own battles. Even the people who seem the strongest or happiest can be struggling behind the scene. It reminded me to be more gentle with people and to check in on them even when they seem fine. I also learned something important about myself. I need to protect my emotional space too. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to take a break, and it's okay to take care of my mental health first. That even changed the way I approach emotional connection. Now I try to be more observant, more patient, and more supportive, not just to others but also to myself.
How important is emotional health compared to physical health?
In my opinion, emotional health is just as important as physical health, maybe even equally essential. If your emotional state is unstable, for example, if you are stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, it can directly affect your physical body. You might experience headaches, lack of sleep, fatigue, or even loss of appetite. On the other hand, when your physical health isn't good, your emotion usually drop too. So I believe both should be taken seriously because they deeply connected. You can live a truly healthy life if one of them is neglected.
Why do some people find it difficult to express their emotion?
I think there are separation. Some people grew up in environment where talking about feeling wasn't encouraged. Maybe they were taught to be strong or don't cry, so they learned to keep everything inside. Others might fear being judged or misunderstood. Opening up requires vulnerability, and not everyone feels safe showing that side of themselves. And for some people, it's simply because they don't know how to put their feelings into words. Emotion can be complicated and not everyone knows how to express them clearly.
Do you think school need to teach emotional intelligence?
Yes, absolutely. Emotional intelligence is not just useful, it's essential. Students face stress, pressure, and social challenges, but many don't have the skill to handle this thing in healthy way. If school taught emotional awareness, communication skill, and stress management, students would be better prepared for real life situations. It would help reduce conflicts, improve relationships, and even support their academic performance because mentally balanced students can focus better. Social media can be quite tricky. One of on one hand, it helps people stay connected, express themselves, and learn new things. But on the other hand, it can create pressure to look perfect, to live a successful life, or to keep up with others. People often can compare themselves to that they see online, and they can easily affect their confidence and self-esteem. Negative comments, unrealistic beauty standards, and content exposed to other people's highlights can lead to anxiety or sadness. It really depends on how people use social media and their level of self-awareness. With health limits, it can be positive, but without control, it can be emotionally draining.
Bye, thank you.